Okay folks, welcome back to Wooden Tool Man's channel. Welcome back to my shop. So what I'm going to do in this video is just do a little overview of this disc sander that I made. So one of the things that the changes that I made was I actually, if you remember, this thing is quite thick. So you know it's about 1.5 inches thick. So what I actually did was I actually glued a piece of sandpaper to the outside of this too. So now I can use this arch to be able to sand too, which will come in handy. So not only do I have my face now, but I have this rounded piece too, and if I was to build another one, I'd likely even go the extra bit thicker, and I'd probably go bigger around now too. I may build another one in the future here that's 18 inches, seeing how I got the 6-inch strips of sandpaper. So the way that I did this is I had some 6-inch sandpaper around, so I just glued them in 2 pieces to this disc, and you know what, it doesn't seem to make any difference at all. Rather than going to try to find one of these discs and then get it perfectly centered on there, it was way easier to do this in 2 pieces. And the same thing with this, it's done in 2 pieces, but you know, if you use a good contact cement to glue it on, you should have no problem whatsoever. Just make sure that you take a piece of sandpaper after you're done and smooth the edges over. So you'll know that this is 2 discs. So what I had to do was I had to preset the head here so that this one's, you know, a solid surface here, and then I just screwed it to the back side of this. So the way that I did this, if you haven't seen this video before, all I did was glue a few blocks of MDF together here, and what I did was I actually made a little jig for the drill press that had a little kind of fence, you know, so I slid it into a pocket and then I drilled the hole, so then all my holes came out in exactly the same place. Rather than trying to glue this all up and then drill a hole, it would be impossible to get it straight but by drilling them all separate like that, I ran my shaft through, you know, after I put a little bit of glue on each one, ran my shaft through, and then I squeezed it tight and just made sure everything was kind of straight, you know what I mean, or even here. And even with doing that in the drill press, they came out a little bit different, but it didn't really matter. Long as that shaft was through, you know, you got them glued up, then you can screw into the bottom, and then after that, you can get the shaft turning once things were dried up, because it took I made this hole just a little bit smaller than the 5/8 bolt, so I really had to bang it through. And so, you know, the first few turns it was pretty hard turning, but then after a while it loosened up. I drilled these relief holes here and put some oil down them, and then this thing got easier to turn as time went on. So you know, you don't necessarily have to use a wooden pulley on the end, but I just thought it was neat to be able to use one. It was easy to hook on to. So the only thing I might do different too is I definitely wouldn't put 2 washers. As you can see down in here, there's actually 2 washers down in there, and them rattle a little bit, but it's not going to hurt anything. It's just because of my spacing here. I had a 10-inch bolt laying around, so I ended up using a 10-inch bolt. If I had it to do different again, I probably wouldn't use 10-inch. I would probably go more like 6-inch, and then that would make this thing a little bit more compact too. But not much, because the motor's about 10 inches thick here, as you can see. So just a quick update here. Maybe what I'll do is get the camera down inside. This isn't fancy, folks. I'm sure you guys can figure out how to make a little, you know, if you get it to the part where you got your disc spinning in this block like this, I'm sure you can make a little bench out front. Some of you may even want to make an angling one, but you know, I didn't see there being really any need for me to do that. If it does come to that, then I'd make something here to make an angle. But I just made a simple, you know, just a block here, a block here, a block on the end, and then my piece going across. Now I did put a little block here in the center for a support block. Rather than having this run all the way through, I stuck a little support block in the middle here for this to rest on. So pretty straightforward. And you know, a slick little rig. I'm real impressed with the way this is working, and I'm sure if you guys take the time to build one, you know, if you want to, you could set bearings in this. But you know what, folks, is I don't think that's not something that I would change. I would not put bearings in this. I like this just the way it is. It's working great. There's absolutely nowhere, you know, if I try to wiggle that, I can't even get a little bit of play out of this bolt going through the wood. Now, whether you'd find it any different with hardwood or not, I can't see it. I would think that hardwood would be even more durable than this MDF, but you guys will have to try it out and maybe let me know how you guys make out. So you guys keep tuning in. Hopefully you're enjoying my videos, and I thank you for watching this one.